Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is actually taken from a normal game. A bit unusual for me, but I did add a little spare time to play a game that was not a double-up game of TFT. This time we're going to be looking at a Supreme Cells game. In fact, a game that's going to work through double emblems for Supreme Cells. And a board that's going to take a little while to put together, but fortunately did end up working out reasonably well in the end. Now, this is also a game that's heavily, and I mean heavily, influenced by the encounter that we have to start. We get the Lulu encounter, which is not very common. I think the odds of this are only like 6 or 7% to get this one. It's the dreaded triple emblems on a golem start. And the ones that I have, they don't have any synergy at all. I have a Soul Fighter emblem, a Sniper emblem, and a Supreme Cells emblem. None of these have even the slightest bit of synergy with one another. They don't fit at all. So when I saw this, I was looking around, I was like, I think my best odd is to play through the Supreme Cell emblem. There is one other person that has a Supreme Cell emblem, but I'm hoping they're not going to go too deeply into the trade. It's only one other person has this. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, I think I'm just going to skip the Sniper emblem and I'm going to skip the Soul Fighter emblem. And that's because they're both traits that just are not very strong in this particular patch. The Soul Fighters are really weak because Samira got over-nerfed in this patch. So, I mean, I guess you can play it, but it's just not good because Samira was over-nerfed. So that's not really viable. And then there isn't really a good Snipers team composition either. There was the old, what was it, Jin plus Mundo was a little bit earlier, but like that got nerfed into the ground as well. So that's not really viable either. So those two other emblems are really bad, and they don't fit with Supreme Cell at all. So I'm just going to try to play around the Supreme Cell. And I also didn't really like any of these other things I got. It's like, no, I don't think my board's strong enough to take aim for the top. I don't want Knuckle Duster's Vi. I have nothing that synergizes with that. I don't want to play a Wraith board for the Darkness Within. I mean, I guess I could take the Sword, but I was like, let's just take the Wandering Trainer. I'll take another training dummy and just work off that. And guess what? I get another Supreme Cell emblem. So I have 2 Supreme Cells in with 0 Supreme Cell units. Yeah, 0. I don't have any of the Supreme Cell units, but I actually have the trait in already, which is just absurd. So, yeah, I'm just going to have to try to play through this because I have hit double of these units, and I'm going to just do my best to work with this, even though this is not what I'm looking for at all. Anyway, so I just have like random stuff on the board. I mostly just wanted to get up to 10 gold here, and I did hit a 2-star Lucian, so I'll play that for the time being. But otherwise, I basically have nothing at all on my board, and I'll just like put a random item on Lucian. But at least I got up to 10 gold. So the plan for the game is clear. We're going to try to play Supreme Cells, and then the question then is, well, what do you want to build around Supreme Cells? Well, one of the better team compositions to play around it seems to be 4 mentors. Yeah, you play the other mentor units. There's some synergy there. You can pick up heavyweight trait for Darius by playing Kabuko. You can pick up duelist trait for the Kaisa by playing Udyr. If you're going to play Akali, you can pick up executioner trait by playing Rise. And like that gets you 3 of the 4 mentors right there. So even though the mentor units have been nerfed like a lot over the course of this playthrough, it's still probably the best way for me to go with this particular build. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a Last Whisper. It's a terrible item on Lucian, who I am fully aware Lucian deals magic damage. Terrible, terrible item to put on him. But he's just holding items for like a Kaisa right now. And it's better to make a Last Whisper on him than anyone else I have on this board right now. I would actually give it to the Trainer Golem if I could. I mean, I guess I could put it on Nefiri, but I don't think that would be the best person to put it on. So, yeah. Say hello to Lucian. He deals magic damage with a, with a Blast Whisper here. So he'll be armor shredding for the physical damage he doesn't do. But at least that's not a bad loss. Like, I mean, I lose the round, but I killed all but 1 unit, so that's not too bad. Considering that I have 0 Supreme Cell units, I guess it's not all that bad. Okay, let's talk about this trait. My past self was highlighting it briefly on the board there. But again, to just briefly talk about it. Now I have finally found a Kennen. There are 4 Supreme Cell units in this game. And they are at the 1 cost, 2 cost, 3 cost, and 4 cost tier. There's no 5 cost Supreme Cell. in this game. So you have Kennen, who's a 1 cost. You have Kaisa, who's a 2 cost. Darius, who's a 3 cost. And then Akali, who's a 4 cost. Kennen is basically a tank. He actually has 3 traits. He's Supreme Cell, Protector, and Sorcerer. So it's good to put him on the board because he gets Supreme Cell trait in, but he actually also makes Sorc trait for the Lucian, which is kind of an odd side point. I really am not intending to play through Lucian here, but I guess it works out. Still, Kennen is mostly intended to be a tank overall. He's not really a damage dealer. Kaisa has Duelist as her other trait, so she actually is a damage dealer. And then Darius has Heavyweight, which is like a combination tank plus DPS trait. But he's definitely a damage dealer. Darius is definitely a carry. And then Akali has Executioner trait. So you basically have 1 tank and then 3... you have 1 tank and then 3 potential carries who play through this trait. I'll talk more about this trait in a minute. I would definitely want to get something off this care, so I have pretty good pick priority here. There is a spatula, but I'm not going to get that because I'm second pick. Someone will definitely snap that up, and they do, so no surprise there. Instead, I'm going to look to grab an item that's going to be makeable on this board, and the sword works for me. Sword is going to be a nice item. I actually need quite a few swords for this build because Darius wants items that builds out of swords. Kaisa also wants items that builds out of swords. And I have this tier. I have very little use for tiers in this team composition, but I can make a Shojin, and that's a reasonably good item on Kaisa. She's basically an AD caster. So things like the... And then look at this. Then I get an early Udyr, which is great. I can put him on the board, which will, if I put him on the board, it turns off Mentor trait, so I'll hold him there for now. Mostly, though, I'm just econing as fast as I can. And Lucian, well, the Last Whisper is terrible, but the Shojin's a reasonably decent item, so I'm hoping he'll just get me through these rounds without losing too much health. Okay, Supreme Cell trait, as I said. So it has 4 units, exactly 4, no more, no less, and you can play it at the 2, 3, or 4 cost tier. So you can see on the left there, Supreme Cell 2, 3, or 4. Here is the formal trait description. I'll just read it while there's nothing else going on. The cell who deals the most damage last combat is Supreme. When the Supreme Cell dies, the cell with the highest current damage becomes Supreme. Cells gain damage amp. The Supreme Cell gains more and executes enemies under 10% health. So you basically get 1 unit who's the Supreme Cell, and they have the chance to execute, well, not the chance, they execute enemies under 10% health. And they also get damage amp. Now, all of the Supreme Cell units get damage amp, but the Supreme Cell gets more. Right now, I have Supreme Cell 3 in. Again, double golems. Well, one golem, one training dummy. So they technically get this bonus too, but they don't deal damage. Well, I guess the golem deals a small amount. So anyway, there is a kind of a flat damage amp that goes to all of the Supreme Cells. And then the Supreme Cell themselves gets more. In this patch, the Supreme Cell at Supreme Cell 3 gets 30% damage amp. The other ones get 18%. So Lucian is currently getting 30% damage amp. The other Supreme Cell units would get 18%. Now, or no, not Lucian. Lucian's not a Supreme Cell unit, so I guess Kennen is getting it, but Kennen, again, is a tank with no items. So you can see this is a trait that's based on carrying through 1 or more of the Supreme Cells. The downside to the trait is you have to play all the Supreme Cell unit to get Supreme Cell 4 in, and you really want to play Supreme Cell 4 because it gives you 2 Supreme Cells. That's the reason why it's a big jump to get up to Supreme Cells 4. You get 2 Supreme Cells, and at Supreme Cells 4, they both get 50% damage amp. Yeah, increases all sources of damage by 50%. That is a massive bonus. But there's only 4 Supreme Cell units, and you have to play all 4 of them to get the benefit. So it eats up a lot of slots on your team. And that's really the downside to this board is you have to play Kennen to get the 4 Supreme Cells in, and Kennen's not very good. He's a 1-cost unit, and he's a tank. And then you also have to play Akali, and Akali's terrible in this patch. She was pretty good in the last patch. People were building Akali team comps. But she's just awful in this one. So you really don't want to play Kennen and Akali, and it's kind of like... I really want to place 4 Supreme Cells, but I have to eat up 2 of these slots on just these terrible units. I wish I could play 4 Supreme Cells without having to play Kennen and Akali. And then I was like, I have double Supreme Cell emblems. I don't have to play Kennen. I don't have to play Akali. I can just play Kaisa, Darius, who are the good units on this board. I can just play the good units and skip all the crummy ones. So my potential is there to actually have a pretty strong board here, because if I can hit Kaisa and I can hit Darius, and again, I've looked around this lobby, no one is playing them in this lobby. If I can hit these units, then I'm going to be able to get 4 Supreme Cell in, and I will have like basically 2 extra slots. because I won't have to play Kennen and I won't have to play Akali. That's going to be really, really nice. So I'll be able to play Kennen. I'll be able to play the Darius and the Kai'Sa, my main carries. I'll be able to play the 4 mentors, and then I can just like fill out the rest of the team with other units that are like, I don't know, like random 4 and 5 cost units that like synergize with the board. So I should be able to build something quite strong. Now here's the problem. I've seen 2 Kennens, 0 Kaisas, 0 Dariuses thus far. I'm still playing through this ridiculous Lucian who's holding a Last Whisper that he can't even use. And I have like this Gangplank on the board, who I don't really want to play. I mean, I guess he makes mech trait for me, but it's like, what? Can I actually see some of these units? I'm kind of staying afloat here, considering I'm missing so many units. I'm only down 17 health, which is not bad for this stage of the game. And then we get the second augment, which comes in as Prismatic, and I was like, I don't think it's Heavyweight Circlet. I don't want Mess Hall. I don't know. Maybe Final Ascension. This isn't really a stall comp, but it does have a decent amount of front line. And then, Coronation, +1 team size. Sure, just give me an extra unit. That works. Now I can play even more units on my board. So now I have even more slots. As I said, it's like I get to play... It feels like I basically get like 3 extra units over the way this comp normally works because, as I said, I can ditch the Kennen and Akali, and then I also can get another +1 team size as well because I picked up the Tactician's Crown. So I just slot Senna on the board because I'm like, I mean, she's better than anything else I could play. I mean, I could play the Udyr, but that would turn off Mentor trait, so that doesn't seem worthwhile. And, I mean, I guess Senna will make the mech a little stronger. I mean, what else would I play? Kale for Duelist trait? That doesn't seem that good. It would only give the Duelist benefit to Gangplank, who's also in there as a trait bot, so I don't know. Kind of have a weird board here. I wouldn't say that this is going especially great, but I've been able to keep the losses relatively close and not lose too much health. And like eventually, now like this round's not close. I get run over by this Battle Academia board. But like eventually at some point I have to start seeing Darius and Kai'Sa, right? At some point I have to start seeing these units because they're uncontested in this lobby. At least I've been able to get up to 50 gold. I've been pretty patient with my economy here, not leveling aggressively, basically trading some health for some additional econ. And all right, there's Darius. Okay, now we finally have a Darius. I actually stepped away from the computer for like 15 seconds here, which is why I didn't snap up the Darius instantly. But we will definitely play that Darius, and that something on this board can definitely come out. And that'll get the 4 Supreme Cells in, which is going to be fantastic, even though I have no items on any Supreme Cell units. Again, that'll mean both Kennen, you can see Kennen's glowing, like see how Kennen glows just like a little bit? That shows he's the Supreme Cell. But once I get Darius on the board, I'll be up to the 4 Supreme Cells. And then that will mean that I'll get that 50% damage amp, and I actually get double Supreme Cells. I'll just level and put them on the board. It only costs a small amount of econ. So anyway, we have like too much front line right now. I can't even get everything on the front line. Probably should just stuff one of the either the Golem or the training dummy in the back row. But the 4 Supreme Cells is a very big spike. As I said, Kennen, Darius will both get 50% damage amp, even though they have no items, and that might be enough to clutch out this fight, because I do have a lot of crud on the board. I have the mech, I have the Golem, I have the training dummy, and I get +1 units from my Tactician's Crown. So I just have garbage everywhere for the other boards to go through. And I do have 2-star Kabako, who's not terrible on this board. I do have 2 heavyweight, or technically 3 heavyweight in. And then now there's even more spatulas here, so maybe I can do something with a spatula as well. I was like, you know, I might have taken a sword if a sword was here, because I do need swords pretty badly. But, yeah, okay. Oh, wait, I actually do get to move here. Sure, I'll take a spatula. Why not? It's not like I need tears or rods. I'm a physical damage comp. I don't need tears or rods. So sure, we'll just take a spatula. We'll do something with it. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this. I could technically make another Supreme Cell emblem, but I don't need another Supreme Cell emblem. I think I looked at the list of the different options. Anyway, there's 2-star Kennen. That's something anyway. And what are the options here? Yeah, I could do Supreme Cell Emblem. I don't think I need 3 of them, though. I was like, Strategist Emblem's an option. Okay, we can look to play Strategist. We'll just make a Strategist Emblem here, and that'll be decent. Because I'm going to look to play Rise on this board, because I'm going to play 4 Mentor. And Rise has Strategist trait. We'll just pick up a free rank of Strategist. Like, why not? That's good. Strategist is always good to have on your team. Going to give the whole team either some shielding or some damage amp. Sure, why not? Oh, and I was going to swap out the GP for the Viego, but then I was like, that's worthless. Let's not bother with that. I did manage to get up to level 6, so that's nice. And again, now that I'm level 6, hopefully I can finally find some of these units. I mean, it's 3-5, and I still have not found a Kaisa yet. I found 1 Darius and I guess 3 Kennons on 3-5, but now I finally have gotten up to 50 gold level 6. Now I can look to start to roll. I actually want to roll on level 7, but I decided I would roll on level 6 just to try to hit Kaisa, because I really, really need to get Kaisa on my board. And I thought if I could just find 1 Kaisa, then, or maybe, I think I decided I would try to go for Kaisa 2-star, and then I would look to go to level 7 and roll on 7 after that. All right, there's a Darius. That's nice. Now, if I can get some freaking Darius items. I don't have any Darius items right now. Let's put a power up on him. And out of these, I really like Unflinching. Gain 15% Omnivamp. For the first 15 seconds, gain immunity to crowd control. That's really nice. All right, there we go. There's Kaisa. So we'll just ditch the Lucian. Now I can drop Kennen as well. I don't need Kennen. I didn't need to find a Kali either. And I'll toss the Udyr on the board. Now, this does turn off Mentor Trait. And now I need something for Kaisa. I'm looking here. I was like, Bullet Hell. I'll fire 30% more projectiles. That seems pretty good. So we do lose Mentor Trait here. But we're trying to roll. Yeah, I was rolling to try to pick up some. What was it? I was trying to pick up more Kaisas. I wanted to try to hit Kaisa 2-star, and then I thought I could go to level 7. I also do find a Lulu, and I think I looked around the lobby earlier, and I didn't see anyone playing any of the Lulu units. No Smolder, no Kog'Maw, no Rammus. So I was like, I'll play Rammus on this board as well. And we're going to do 3-cost reroll here. It's like 3-cost reroll plus Kaisa. We're going to grab Darius's, we're going to grab Udyr's, we're going to grab Lulu's, who are going to become Rammus, and we're going to grab any Kaisas we can find. And I guess I'll grab Yasuo's as well. I just haven't seen Yasuo yet. So this is a really weird board, but I have won the last 3 rounds in a row. It seems like it's starting to come online, and I'm finally starting to get to take advantage of the fact that I have the, I'm going to ditch this Gangplank. We're moving out of the mech. We don't need mech. I'm going to take Rammus for more frontline anyway here. There we go. Lulu runs over to the sideline, and then I can play another unit. And all right, well, there's a Kaisa. There's an Akali, but I don't need it. I actually grabbed the Ziggs because if I can make Strategist Emblem with that spatula, then Ziggs would give me a rank of Strategist. And I didn't really have much else there. But yeah, I'm on Darius pair, Kaisa pair. I'm on 6 Kabakos for some reason, so that's a thing, I guess. And I don't need that Akali. She's a bad unit. It's just not a good unit in this patch. I don't need her. So I'm not going to buy her. But then I get another Akali another Kaisa from the minion round, so that's great. Now I'll just level and play that. I'll play 2 Kabakos for the time being. I don't have anything better to play. And now I do want to try to make some items here. So let's go ahead, put a glove on. I really would like to get a sword for Infinity Edge for that last item there. And then I was looking at these other items, and I was like, you know, I really do not want this rod. I have just no use for rods. I believe I reforged the rod here, if I remember this game correctly. I'm looking for a cloak so I can make a Strategist Emblem. Sword would be fantastic. And what do we end up getting here? I didn't actually reforge it yet. Let's try again. Sword. That's exactly what I was looking for. So now Kaisa has very good items for her. Remember, Kaisa's basically an AD caster. I mean, I'm not going to win this round, but this Soul Fighter board is really strong for the moment. I'll read her ability description in a second, but we have a augment to pick here. Let's see what the last one is going to come in as soon as this round is over. I guess I got a little ahead of myself there because I ended up dying kind of fast there. But that person did roll themselves down to 0 gold, so they're not going to be getting too much stronger. All right, what do we have? Healing Orbs is not terrible. Trifecta would be okay as well, but I did want to look at the different options. And I see, Teacher's Council. This is really, really good. Teacher's Council is mentor bonus or increase by 10% given to the whole team regardless of how many mentors are in play. That's fantastic. So now I just need to find Rise and I need to find Yasuo. I've had difficulty finding them. All right, well, there is the Rise. That's really nice. Now I only need the Yasuo in order to get the 4 mentor bonus in. Now, of course, I'm getting actually put another Kabako on the board. I was like, no, that's a little silly. I don't need that. But yeah, now I just need the Yasuo here. And technically, I do still get I'm actually hitting pretty nicely here. I decided to roll down and try to hit Yasuo. And then I see a TF. I was like, oh my god, random TF. Okay. So I still have the mentor bonuses turned on because I have the Teacher's Council, and that means that the mentor bonuses are active, even though I only have 3 out of 4 mentors. But I did still want to get Yasuo, because getting Yasuo on the board will upgrade all of the mentor abilities. like I'll get the stat bonuses, but I won't get the upgraded abilities from mentor trait. And anyway, now that I sacrificed a lot of econ there, but I kind of hit a lot of stuff too. And I am on 8 out of 9 Kabukos, or yes, I'm on 8 out of 9 Kabukos because I'm playing double 2-star Kabukos. So if I can get one more Kabuko and one Yasuo, I'll be sitting pretty here. So I decided I would roll down for the Yasuo. All right, I also decided I would go ahead and make a Striker's Flail for Darius. Now, that means I really need to try to find an Infinity Edge for him as well. All right, well, that's a great shop. Find 2 more Kaisas. And I'm going to play the TF over the Senna. The Senna was doing nothing. There's Yasuo. All right, that's the unit I needed. And boom, now we have the 4 Mentor in. So all the Mentor units will get that upgraded bonus. And now we can take our time. Now we can go back up to 50 gold. And then we'll just slow roll here on level 7. We need to try to find, We need to find 1 more Kabuko. We need to find, what am I on? 4 Dariuses, I think. I think I'm on 4 Dariuses, 4 Kaisas, 4 Udyrs, 4 Ramesses, and 8 Kabukos. So I'm a long way off these units, but I could just stay here. Like, I don't need, like, what would I get from leveling? I mean, I could play, like, Jarvan for another rank of strategist trait, but, like, I don't really need much else here. My board is pretty much set already. I just need to try to 3-star some of these units. Oh, and I do want to make the strategist emblem, because Rise is giving me half of strategist trait, but I do need the other half. Plus, I've got a TF on my board right now. I mean, that's great. TF is basically just going to print me econ. He's the 5 cost that gives you economic benefits in this game. He will give you various, he draws various cards and they all have different functions, but most of them give you an econ benefit. Some of them make your board stronger, but as I said, most of them give you econ benefits. All right, anyway, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and grab this Cassante because it sells for 4 gold, and I can also do a Titan's Resolve on Darius, which is a good item on him. I will say it's not quite as good in this situation as it is normally because of the power-up I took. The power-up that I took gives Darius immunity to crowd control for the first 15 seconds. One of the big benefits of Titan's Resolve is when it's fully stacked up, it gives immunity to crowd control. Also, yeah, I was rolling here because I was so close on the Kabuko. I was trying to hit this. I was like, I got to sell something. Got to sell something. Darius, I have to pick up the Darius. I really should sell the Rise here, but I sold the Rammus. Yeah, I was trying to hit that last Kabuko, I guess. Probably should have been a little bit more patient there and just gone back up to 50 gold. But I was on 8 out of 9 Kabukos, so I kind of wanted to hit that unit. But anyways, I was saying, so Darius already gets immunity to crowd control from his power-up, and then the Titans kind of duplicates that. On the other hand, though, the Titans benefit doesn't kick in until he gets to 25 stacks, so he kind of gets immunity to crowd control for the start of the fight from his power-up, and then when the Titan stacks up, he gets immunity to crowd control from that. So Darius basically can't be CC'd, and he gets a little extra Omnivamp from his power-up too, so that's pretty good. I do feel like he has a pretty good power-up, and then the bullet, the bullet hell that Kaisa has makes her stronger there as well. All right, there we go. That's what we wanted. There's the 3-star Kabuko. Very, very nice. And I also get up to 6 Kaisas, which is great as well. And I might as well pick up the Rammus, because why not? I'm not really expecting to hit 3-star Rammus, but you never know. As far as Kaisa goes, she does have an extra ability. I was going to read her ability description, and then I ignored it earlier. All right, here it is. She does have a passive. Kills grant 1% permanent attack damage. So she's been stacking throughout the game. I wish I'd gotten her in earlier because I didn't find her until the end of stage 3. But every time she kills something, she gets a permanent 1% AD, and that's quite nice. Her activist fires 8 missiles divided between the target and nearby enemies, deals physical damage. I do want to 3-star her. And her best items are all AD caster items. So, like I said, Infinity Edge is good because it allows her damage to crit. The Shojin, so she casts more often. Last Whisper for Armor Shred has good synergy with the Infinity Edge. The Striker's Flail is a good item as well. Like, it's anything that you want with like crit plus AD caster is good on her. And yeah, I mean, we're winning these rounds pretty easily at the moment, despite the fact that I still do not have 3-star Darius or 3-star Kaisa. Ideally, you'd be getting close to one or both of them by about this stage. But yeah, my econ kind of stinks because I rolled it all the way down. I am hoping that TF will help with that. Hopefully, he will give me a little bit of extra money in that regard. So it's going to take a little while longer, but I think I have time here. Like, I don't think that I'm especially weak here, so I think that I'm in pretty good shape. TF also gives you better rewards the longer he's on your board. So basically, he has different stuff that he can pull from his cards, and if he's on the board for a long time, he has better and better odds to pull good stuff. Like, I think if he's on the board for 10 rounds, you get an artifact amble, which is pretty nice. So hitting him this early in the game and just having that extra slot means he's going to keep pulling stuff from his cards. It's going to give me bonus econ benefits. Anyway, I was able to make the strategist emblem there, thanks to getting that cloak. So now we have strategist trait in play as well. And now I need to do something with these other items. I was like, all right, you know what? I don't really want Hand of Justice for Darius. It's not the item I'm looking for. I really wanted an Infinity Edge for him. But the Striker's Flail synergizes through crit chance, and the Hand of Justice gives him more crit chance. So, and what else was I going to do with a tier? I didn't really have any use for tiers in my comp. So I think that's the best item I could have made based on what I had there. Still, I would love it if I could somehow get him an Infinity Edge so that his damage could crit. And that would have really good synergy with the Striker's Flail. Anyway, so this is a Star Guardians board, and this person took the augment that gives, it turns their items prismatic if they only have one item. Their team actually looks pretty strong. Now, the downside for them is they have 3 HP, so if they lose one round, they're out of the game. And I go down to 44 HP. But again, I'm getting closer on some of these units, and my board's been reasonably strong. I just need to get back up to that 50 gold mark. I guess I overrolled trying to get to the Yasuo, but I do think that rolling heavily there also stabilized me, so I don't think it was necessarily a waste. Probably could have been a little bit more patient, but you know, we were getting to middle of stage 4 there, and I did want to get that Yasuo on the board. So, yeah, so I could get the 4 mentor bonus in play. Anyway, so I couldn't match up against that particular team, but I do think I do reasonably well against a lot of these other boards. That person's the Shen Hero Augment, which is really weird. I actually end up hitting them this round. I don't think the Shen Hero Augment is especially good. I think they're trying to play like edgelords around it, but I don't know. I think my board is a little bit stronger here. The Kabuko, if I could get some defensive items for the Kabuko, that would be nice as well. He is a 3-star unit with 4 mentor in. Anyway, it looks like we cut through that board without too much trouble, and they actually got knocked out of the lobby, unfortunately for them. Right now, the board that seems to be the strongest is this 8 Soul Fighter 4 Sorks board that is sitting on 80 HP. The good news is they don't seem to be close to getting to level 9, so that's pretty good. Oh, TF printed me 1 gold this round. I got like the worst possible result from TF, which was current bounty cost, gain 1 gold per crew member star level. Now that's great if you're playing a vertical crew board, but it's awful if TF is just the only crew unit on the board as he is here. So yeah, that's not what I wanted. That's not the card I wanted, but it's okay, TF. You'll get me better stuff on other rounds. Anyway, that other Soul Fighter board, I would be a lot more concerned about that board if it was about to push to level 9. For whatever reason, they rolled super aggressive. This board here, because in order for this board to like really be strong, they need like 2-star Samira and like 2-star. They really need 2-star Gwen. That's right. They're mostly playing through Gwen and Karma. Unfortunately for them, Karma got nerfed really, really badly in the patch that we're playing on. So even though they have 8 Soul Fighters, 8 Soul Fighters, 4 Sorks, with a Soul Fighter emblem on the Karma. Yeah, that board's still not that amazing. Like, they should probably have been level 9 already and, like, trying to slow roll for, like, Karma 3-star on level 9. But they don't appear to be there. I think they maybe mismanaged their economy a little bit in this situation. All right, well, anyway, we get the chance to pick another item here. There is an Infinity Edge here. As soon as I see that, I'm like, oh, an Infinity Edge, you say? That would certainly be nice on Mr. Darius so that his damage can crit. It is still there. I have an available item remover, and I'm going to snap that up because apparently nobody wants that item. Yeah, nobody took it. The Sterix also would be pretty good, but I'm playing through Kaisa Darius. Let's accentuate those 2 units. They are more important than anyone else. Now, that does leave me with a leftover item on Darius that I have to put on someone else, and the obvious thing to move is the Titan's Resolve. I just don't really need it. I already have immunity to crowd control from his power-up. And I can actually put the Titans on another unit, and if I put it on the Kabuko, you can actually use it reasonably well. It's not a terrible item on him. So we'll put the Hodge on here. Now we have tons of crit chance, plus the Infinity Edge. And oh, we just got a cloak from TF. Okay, we just have a random cloak. I was like, do I do Ionic Spark? I thought maybe I'd get something else from the TF. So I decided I would hold off on making Ionic Spark, which is not going to do much on my board because my board's all physical damage. Found another Udyr, so now I'm on 7 Udyrs, 6 Kaisas, 5 Dariuses, 5 Ramuses. And speaking of Rammus, I should probably cover what he does, because I don't think I've featured him in a single video yet in this particular set. So Rammus is one of the units that can be played on via Lulu, officially called Monster Trainer. And you know, I was looking at the cheat sheet here that had information about all of them, except that Rammus doesn't show up on the cheat sheet because he only appears on Monster Trainer. Anyway, like the other monsters, he gains an additional stat per Monster Trainer level. He starts at level 1. As he casts his ability and fights, he levels up over the course of time. His passive is he gains 1 armor and 1 MR per Monster Trainer level. Active, gain a shield. When it breaks, deal magic damage to the nearest enemies and stun them for 1 second. The stun is usually the most important part of Rammus's ability. But when he levels up, he gets additional abilities like all the monster units do. Level 15 on cast, leap to the largest group and taunt enemies, gain max health per enemy taunted. Level 30, gain an additional 1 armor and magic resist per trainer level, increases the duration of the stun. So for him, the big thing is really the level 15 because it causes him to jump and taunt people. So if you watch closely, when Rammus's bar fills up, he's going to jump into like the back lines and start stunning people, or start taunting people, which is obviously pretty effective here. Now this board is a duelist board here. Are there like duelist Crystal Gambit? Look, they're very strong. Oh, our Kaisa's down, our Darius is down, but the TF and the Rise clutch it out. TF on 35 HP. And Arise was a little bit more health back there. I was very happy to see me win this round, not only because he keeps a win streak going into the minion round, and also locks down top 4, but it's also big because if I could beat the Crystal Gambit board without Darius being 3-star, without Kaisa being 3-star, then if I hit these units, I'm going to win very easily. Like, if I'm beating them and my units are not 3-starred, I'm pretty confident I can beat them when they are 3-starred. And I'm getting close. Again, 7 Udyrs, 7 Kaisas, 7 Rammuses, 6 Dariuses. I'm getting close. I feel like I'm gonna hit here sooner or later. I'm staying over 50 gold, so I get max income. But if I look like I'm gonna die, I can roll it down, and I should probably be able to hit. But still, for the moment, we can afford to be patient. And oh, look at this! There's a Jarvan that pops out. Jarvan is the next unit that goes on my board for 3 strategists, but I don't think I have space for him on my board right now. Oh, by the way, one other thing. You see the Yasuo's popping up in my shop? I forgot I had 1-star Yasuo. I just thought I had 2-star Yasuo, but I did not have 2-star Yasuo. So I have this 1-star Yasuo on the board, and I'm seeing all these Yasuos, and I just keep going by because I thought I had 2-star Yasuo. Anyway, I lose one of these units. I have to sell something. I probably should have sold the Rammus, honestly, not the Udyr. Should have sold the Rammus, not the Udyr. But there we go. 3-star Darius, 3-star Kaisa arriving at the same time. Boom. Now we spiked. Now we're online. I do make a mistake here, though. I believe I pick up the Archangel. Oh, no, I picked up the Protector's Vow. Whoops, I thought I got a Rise item here. Fortunately, I did realize I should put items on my 3-star Kabuko. So I'll just get him a tank item here. None of the tank items were amazing, but Protector's Vow, probably the best. And yeah, Darius did 11,000 damage. Kaisa did 9,000 damage. That was an absolute massacre. And that was the Soul Fighters board that has the most health in the lobby. So if I'm beating them that badly, then yeah, I'm not too worried if they're the last one. I'm actually much more concerned about the 4 HP and 3 HP boards, but they're very low, so hopefully they'll get knocked out sooner or later by one or the other. Oh, TF printed me a 5-cost unit that round, so he just gave me 5 gold. That was pretty nice. I still would like to hit the Rammus and the Udyr if possible, just because I'm so close on them. And I just don't get that much from leveling. As I said, I can put in Jarvan and then get 3 strategists, but like it's way better to have a 3-star Udyr on my board right now. 3-star Udyr and a 4 Mentors comp does a lot of work. So it's better to stay here on level 7 and just continue slow rolling for these units. I'll have better odds if I can get this person out of the lobby because they currently have 5 Udyrs on their board. And if I can get them out of the lobby, then I should have much better odds. Anyway, Darius is doing the dunk fest, and then Kaisa's adding in the damage on the back of it. They can't even get through the Kabuko with this board. So, yeah, I mean, their board, they were trying to play Luchador, and, I mean, Jesus. Yeah, it turns out that my board's pretty strong now that it's online. And, hey, the only team that's still here is the Soul Fighters player that I beat very easily the last time I saw them. So I was like, okay, what are we going to get from Twisted Fate this round? Oh, we got a 3-star 1 cost that effectively is 9 gold because I'm not going to play Sivir. Oh, I went past a new deer. I saw it afterwards. I was like, well, there's a new deer. But I could have been on 8 of them right now. Maybe even on 9 of them because I sold that Udyr earlier. But it's not to say the shop odds would have played out the same way. Anyway, yeah, you can see, because I missed the Udyr, I'm actually going to, I actually went in the team planner. I grabbed the Karma because I was worried they were going to go for Karma 3-star. I think they have 4 or 5 of them back there, But they probably should have, and they're 0 gold. They're level 9, 0 gold. This person mismanaged their economy. They should have gone to level 9, and they should have slow rolled for Karma 3 on level 9. But they rolled all the way down to 0, like in one burst. And they did not have to do that because they had so much gold. So now they have no econ, and even though I think they have 6 karmas back there, the odds that they're going to hit 3 more are not especially high. And it looks like my board is just a lot stronger than them. The Kaisa Darius duo is really strong. Remember, they get the 4 mentor bonus as well, because I have that Teacher's Council augment that's really strong. Now I get to pick something else off this carousel, and I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted. I really should have gotten an item for Udyr, because I'm so close to 3-starring Udyr. But instead I grabbed this, which is a mistake. I end up putting this on, I get an Archangel Staff for Rise, but I have Rise 1-star. I have 7 Udyrs, and by the way, I get a big gold printout from Twisted Fate there. So that was a mistake. I shouldn't have got that. And as I go past even more Yasuos in the shop. But yeah, I'm just rolling it down here. Can we hit these last remaining units? Again, could have had Yasuo 2-star so easily. I'd be close to Yasuo 3-star. I'm on 8 Udyrs, 8 Ramesses right now. So I really should have gotten an Udyr. And then I decided I would just roll it down and just look for these. All right, there's the Udyr. Can we hit the Ramess? Can we get the Ramess 3-star? Come on, Ramess. All right, I'll stop there. But I picked up the Jarvan because that'll be the next unit slotted in. But I'm so close on these units. I just want to hit them. All right, so for this board, this person shifted the Karma to the left-hand side, which was the correct thing. The Karma should be on the opposite side from Darius. Oh my god, Darius does so much damage. He resets on half the board. Oh my god, Darius. Although Kaisa actually did even more damage. Remember, Kaisa's been stacking up on kills via her passive the whole game. Oh, and what's this? Oh, it's an artifact item. I have had Twisted Fate on the board for 10 rounds. So I'll get an artifact item here. And then now we hit the Ramess 3. There's Jarvan on the board for 3 strategists. And I was like, ah, cool, Death's Defiance. That is going to be a good item on Darius. So we'll take the... we'll drop the Hodge. He already gets a lot of Omnivamp. He doesn't really need that. We'll just put this on someone. Udyr's the best target. Now, if I had been smart enough to take an item that was good on Udyr, like I think there was a Sterix on that carousel, I could have an absolute monster Udyr to go with everything else. Plus, I have the 3-star Ramess as well. Now, and I believe this Ramess is definitely level 30. I wish I'd checked what his level was here, but I'm pretty confident he hit level 30. And, I mean, this is not really close. This round I was paying attention, so I actually am positioned correctly. I'm positioned over by the Karma. So hopefully we'll dunk her relatively quickly, and yeah. Well, this game certainly came together well, considering how rough the early game was, when I couldn't even find any of the Supreme Cells. It just turned into an absolute massacre in the late game. Turns out that getting to play 4 Supreme Cells and only playing the 2 good units lets you slot in a whole lot of good units alongside them. And the TF was really helpful because he printed me so much econ over the course of the game. So yeah, Supreme Cells for the win. This one was fun. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, hope you guys are having a great week. Take care, folks, and I'll see you again soon.